Hello and welcome to the Wednesday live stream. My name is Igor, and for today I have a slightly different scenario for this live stream. Usually we work on our Agentic IDE recently. That's not the case every time, but recently we were focusing on the application that you are looking at now. Okay, now it's easier for you to see it. So this is the Agentic IDE. Shikigami, that's the name of the application. It's for free. You can download it from shikigami.dev. Currently, the newest version is 0.39.1. I uncovered a bug related to the recent release, and it's fixed. Now it should be better. There was a small issue in the editor area. And speaking of it, what the application provides, it provides two main features. The first one is the agentic coding area on the left, because now I am in a split view. So on the left, this is the agentic coding area where you can manage multiple sessions of different agents. This can be Cloud, Code, Codex, or Open Code. At the moment, these three are supported. There is also a predefined list of models. If you want to choose any of it, please do so, and then you can set an effort. A slightly different case is with the open code, because it can work with multiple different models and even models that you host on your machines. So for that, I recommend going to the predefined configurations model, and from there pass additional arguments to the open code agent. But okay, so this is the left side, and on the right side currently it is empty. It contains only a .shiki directory with some configuration files for the Shikigami application. But on the right side, this is the IDE area, a classic IDE where you can edit files, add them, like modify whatever you want, like in any other popular IDE. And we are working on making the application better most of the time, but for today I would like to share with you or build with you an MCP, and we're gonna use Python for that, because recently I started a course that my friend prepared, a path from PHP to Python. I will share it with you later. I just started, but I have to tell you that I like it, and I also would like to prepare this MCP server with the Python language. So let's start from creating an initial setup. And as usual, we are Vibe engineering, so it means I'm not gonna write all the code by myself. We're gonna support us with one agent or more. I believe one is enough for today, but let's see. So let's ask it to first. Maybe we can start from a single file. Then if we decide to split it, we can split it, but for now let's just add a single file. Actually, we can do it, and then let's ask it to add some content. Okay, so we have the file, it is empty. Now it's time for a prompt. And one more thing before we start. So I'm gonna freestyle most of the time, because I didn't prepare for this session, nothing special. All that I will talk about, because I would like to describe the concept of the MCP server and main features of an MCP server implementation. That I will tell you because I recently worked on our MCP server within the company that I work for, and based on that, I would like to share some knowledge with you. And our MCP server will use a publicly available API. Let me show you. So that's exactly what we will use. So the Metropolitan Museum of Art Collection API, I think for today, let's use search to look for certain objects, and then let's add another tool function for getting details of an object. I want you to initialize an MCP server. We're gonna use Python for it. There is already a server.py file. So let's start from a minimal MCP server implementation, and this is the URL that we use to communicate with an external API, and please prepare a const value for it. I also installed, before I started the session, I've installed the UV command. And this is a, extremely fast, that's what they say, a fast Python package manager, and that should allow us to also run the server script. Let's verify it later. And let's take a look at the, at the question from the agent. Yeah, we can have a full project. That's not a problem. Let's do it. Okay, we can initialize it with a one tool, and let's already put a name for the tool. I will share with you in more details what tools are. But the first tool, for sure, I would like to have the search tool. So let's point it to that URL, and let's as well ask it to already include a search parameter. And in this case, the search parameter is Q from a query. That's the full name, so Q. And what else? Let me take a look. Okay, so Q is for the object's data and the title, against the title field for objects. I don't know this API too much, so let's stick to the Q parameter for now, and later we can extend it. Let me as well quickly share a link to the live stream. Maybe somebody from the Discord server will join us. Okay, let's take a look. So what is the plan? Okay, so the agent will run the project setup with the uv init command. uv is available in our shell, in my shell, and Python 3.11. Is it the, let me verify, is it the newest version? Let's take a look at the uv command. Okay, from what I see, it should be 3.15. So please use the version 3.15 if that's not an issue. I'm still new in Python ecosystem, so I don't know, maybe the agent knows something. Maybe the SDK doesn't work with 3.15. Let's verify that. What else? Let's take a look. So there is a const value. Dependencies. So MCP CLI, the SDK, that is correct. And also HTTP client, because we will make requests to the publicly available API. And that's the const with base URL, base path. Yeah, pretty simple for now. So the limit, this is true. Let me take a look. Let's take a look at the API documentation. But I don't see a limit parameter here. Maybe it is a global parameter. Well, I don't see it here, so I guess let's make it clear to the agent. I don't see a limit parameter here, so we can manually trim it to 20 items. Yeah, we can have it for now. And empty results. Okay, it says that it's gonna normalize the result set. If the total is 0, this is fine as well. Okay, and first files were created. So PyProject TOML, then the server, it was already there, so we are waiting for a content. And this is a log file. I guess it is similar to PHP Composer log file. And as you can see, you can add files, folders, and you can reveal in a Finder or whatever file explorer you have on your machine. And if you have already click on a file or a directory with a right mouse button, you can as well add it to gitignore. And if there is no gitignore available in your files tree, then the application will ask you if it should create a gitignore. If yes, then it is going to already add an entry for a file that you wanted to make to ignore. And .venv, this is for virtual environments, but I guess, well, I don't really know how it works. I'm not gonna use that today, maybe in the future, but for now, no. But just letting you know that that's why it is here, because we initialized the project with the UV command. Yeah, so as you see, there is a run, there is init, and that the agent used init command. Okay, so let's give it some time, and I told you that I would like to share with you 3 main features of an MCP server. So MCP server, and there are 3 main features. And for sure today I would like to at least use tools, but there are 2 more. Okay, so the first one, as I already said, there is a tool or tools concept. That's the first one. Then the second one will be resources. And then third one is prompts. So yeah, so as I said, these are three main features of any MCP server. I think most of the time you will use the first one and the second one, which is tools or resources. Prompts, maybe, I don't know, that depends on what project you are working on. I haven't used it yet. Maybe I will. Let's see. But what does it mean? What does it mean, tools and resources? So tools are these are like sources of knowledge or actions. So knowledge or actions that an MCP client can run against a server. So for example, knowledge, what I mean by that, it can be get something. Yeah. So if I have an app that allows me to create maybe events like calendar, things like that. So I have a calendar app and I want an MCP server create an MCP server for that calendar app or whatever application that stores events. Then, for example, I can expose with a tool get events list, or maybe list events. Maybe that would be a better name. List events, and that is going to return an array of events that I've created or I am subscribing to. So that is the list, yeah. And then I can have as well a tool, that returns for me details about certain event, and then this would be an object with some properties like, for example, ID or name or like location, maybe. Yeah. Okay. But I told you that you can. Yeah. So this is knowledge and as well actions. So for example, create something, and this is still a tool. This is still within a tool area or tools. And if we are talking about an application that stores events and acts like a calendar, like my personal calendar, then next to get or list, we can have create event, right? And then as well, we could have update event. Okay, let me clear that. So tools, so these are tools, basically. These are like, this is like an API for an agent. Because MCP servers, we create them specifically for MCP clients, but so the communication is like this. MCP server. Yeah, so we create MCP servers for MCP clients, but in case of Cloud Code or Codex, they already have embedded MCP clients. So it could be like this. Our Cloud, among any other functions or functionalities, has as well an MCP client embedded and uses it to communicate with the MCP server. Okay? So tools, you can think of it like an API for an agent that exposes knowledge, but as well allows us to modify state on the other side, like create or update. Okay, create, update, and then delete event. Okay, and then there are resources. So this is the slightly different concept, because resources are used to inform an agent that there is a certain object or a certain resource or a document, for example. Okay, so let me write it down. So an object, a document, maybe as well. This could be some third party. So a drive, a remote drive as well. And behind every item, there is an alias for it. And let's imagine that, as I said, the MCP server that we will create is specifically for a calendar application. And let's name it my calendar. Yeah. So then the MCP server can expose the resources in a way with a certain schema, with an alias, and that alias could be my calendar, and then after a slash, this could be event 1, 2, 3. And then if that resource was created and MCP server exposes that information to the MCP client, then you can refer to it in your prompts by using @, for example. That's how Claude does that. So there is an @ my MCP server, and then my calendar, and then event 1, 2, 3. And if I use it within my prompt, then Claude Code or Codex or any other agent will understand that this specifically referred to a certain object or a certain entity that lives on the MCP server, or that is exposed by an MCP server, and can be used in prompts as a reference. And that once an agent sees that and starts processing, then this alias will be replaced with a real value that the MCP server exposes. So for example, this could be something like this. Okay, let me break this. So translated into, and that's exactly, more or less, it depends from the implementation. It could be only ID and the name, then later will be used in a prompt to collect some information, to modify to modify an object, or to get more details about the object. And same is for documents or remote drives. So this is an alias that is exposed by an MCP server, and you as a user, when you start typing a prompt, you can refer to that specific object. And instead of allowing agent to discover or explore what you mean by event 1, 2, 3, you explicitly tell it that the event 1, 2, 3 is a resource that was exposed by an MCP server. Okay, so these are resources. If you will have questions, please put them in the comment section, or use the chat if you are here. We can, at any point in time in the future, we can have another session and clarify these details around resources or prompts, or tools as well. Okay, so let me put a short description here. So what are resources? So these are objects or entities exposed by the server. Yeah. Okay, and the third concept that MCP server provides, this is a prompt or prompts. And what these are, so these are predefined prompts that users, okay, I'm gonna put it predefined prompts, but these prompts can be used by users in their prompts. So these are basically templates for your commands, prompts that you can use with your MCP client. And why a developer or developers create them? So let's imagine that you are looking for a list of your events, but if you ask an agent, please provide me a list of my events, depending on what model you will use or what agent this will be, the output might have different structure. So sometimes it could be a table, the other time this could be a list of events, and instead of columns there will be dashes that will mark that this is a name, this is the ID, and this is a location. So to avoid that, this could be of course one of a use case for prompts, but to avoid that, the MCP server creator can prepare predefined prompts, and you can refer them, use them within your prompts, and with you don't have to write a message like, please provide me a list of my events. Actually, let me write it here. So example, without. So first one is without a prompt, without a predefined prompt. Please list my events for this week. That's how you would do it. But with a predefined prompt, you can refer to that prompt. So list prompt, and that's it. Maybe it's gonna be already. Maybe the week requirement will be already included, or maybe there will be a dedicated one for a week. Then this is all you need. If there is no time frame in this predefined prompt, then I would use add list prompt, and then for a next week or this week, for this week, and that's it. And that prompt that was predefined will also include where to look for events, or how to structure them, how to structure the output, what does it mean this week. This week means from Monday till Friday, or from Monday till Sunday, and that's what prompts are. So there are three main concepts. Let me repeat one more time. So tools, these are like API. This is like an API for an agent. Then resources, these are objects or entities that are exposed by a server, intentionally of course, because maybe in this context that makes sense to predefine a predefined resources list. And prompts, this is the third one. So predefined prompts, if you want to make it easier for users to call certain tools, call certain actions in a structured way, with a already battle tested and well tested way. Okay, so that was long. That was quite long. I didn't want it to be that long, but okay. Let's save it, and let's now take a look at the server.py file, and let's take a look at the agent. What is the result? Let me briefly read it, and let's do let's do some more work. And if you would like to learn more about the SDK that we will use in this live stream, then please go to modelcontextprotocol.io, or you can type it in any search engine, and then please add as well Python or MCP Python SDK, and you will land here most likely. And here is an example how to add the dependency for MCP servers, and as well an example with a tool and with a resource. Okay, let's try to run it. Let's take a look one more time. Okay, so we have to install the inspector package. Let's see how it goes. Okay, and here is the inspector. Okay, we can connect to it, to our MCP. And what we have here, what is available. There should be a list of tools. Okay, so prompts list, resources list, and tools list. Yes, we have it as well. So at the moment we have only one tool. This is search objects. That's the name exactly. It's visible here. Let me make it bigger. Can we collapse that? Tools. Okay. Okay, let me move that aside. Search objects. And we can run it. We can run the tool. Let's try. So sunflower. Okay, so it works. So we have 98 total items, and this is first 20 object IDs, exactly as we want it to be. So max results 20. Okay, the live stream is 40 minutes long, so let's try to connect Claude, another instance of a Claude session. So let's name it search, or maybe MCP test. Okay, And it doesn't matter what that is, it can be Sonnet. Okay. But let's ask the first agent how to connect. Because if I do /mcp, then what is available? Okay, some predefined Google MCPs. How can I connect now this MCP server that I run to Claude session? Or actually I should say agent. I know that there is a Claude add command. Okay, but that's not how I want to do it. I am asking if there is a Claude add MCP command that I can run in my shell to connect the MCP server that I've started to my local Claude agents. And let's as well copy and paste the URL. Okay, let's give it some time. So what we are trying to do now, our server is running. We run it with the uv run command. Then there is a tool that allows us to search, and we've tested it, that it works. So now the question is, if we can test establishing a connection between our Claude session, our server, and then get list of IDEs. Okay, so it can be added as a directory, as I understand. Okay, let's do it. But let me change a name, so I'm gonna type Claude MCP add. This is the standard standard command, and then in the museum I'm gonna name it Dear MCP Museum, and then the rest of the content, but I guess I have to edit it. Okay, let's verify. Okay, it was added. Let me now list MCPs. Well, I don't see it. Let's restart the session. MCP. Okay, and we have it, and it is connected. Yeah, so at the first position there is Dear MCP Museum. This is an MCP server. It is connected. It uses the uv command. These are arguments, and there is one tool that's exactly the one tool that we've added, which is search objects. Okay, and here are details about it. Okay, if that is the case, then let's move back in the conversation to clear from the context window things that we don't need anymore. So restore conversation. And let's ask our agent to add one more thing to one more tool, sorry, to our where is it? To our tools set. So we have search that returns object IDEs. So let's now add a tool to get details of an object. Okay. Please now add one more tool to our MCP server. I want you to add a tool that allows us to list details about an object, and here is the URL that you have to use. And this is the URL. Okay, and as well, the API documentation provides, okay, so let me show you one more time. So this is an object endpoint to get details about an object. These are parameters that we can pass. And here is a response. So we don't need all these things. We don't need all these fields to be shown. So let's maybe ask an agent to trim it down to maybe an object name. And what else? Title, culture, period. Yeah, maybe these four. Let me take a look if there is. Okay, so these are parameters. No, sorry, this, okay, so there is only one parameter. This is an object, and then this is response. Okay. Sorry, that was a mistake. So we have object name, title, culture, period. Yeah, let's include these four fields. Sorry, there is a question. Let's take a look. Yeah, so exactly. So the agent highlighted that there is a lot of fields included in a response. We don't need all of them. So let's chat about it and let's make it clear that what we want is, I want you to present these fields. Okay, these fields. And these are object name, title, culture, and period. So these fields should be returned by the MCP server. Oh, sorry, I totally missed the chat. Sorry, I was focusing so much on the API documentation and our code base that I missed your message. Yes, how am I? I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And you can as well consider joining our Discord server. The link is in the description, and you can find me there if you have more questions related to MCP servers or clients, or you maybe even tried to implement one already. Then you can let me know if I did something wrong. Maybe there is something that we can do better next time. And also you can let me know if you agree with what I shared, that there are three main concepts in related to any MCP server. And these are, let me repeat it. So tools, from my perspective, this is an API for an agent that allows to make the communication easier between agent and a resource, a remote resource, whatever that is, if this is an API or any web application. So tools, then resources. By that I mean these are objects or entities that are exposed by the server for a certain reason. For example, you have a list of events and you want to refer to these events specifically in your prompts, or you have a storage, maybe this is an application that handles storage things, then you can refer to your items or maybe set of items. And then the third one is prompts, and these are predefined prompts that your users can use when they interact with your MCP server. So for example, if you want to make it easier for your users to get a structured output, or maybe you want to make it easier to interact with any of your tools, or maybe some custom logic that you have on your side, then you can prepare a prompt to make it easier, faster, and less error prone. Okay, let's take a look at the agent. So with edit get object tool, good. So we have the MCP tool right here. Let me make it bigger. Okay, so this is an annotation that this specific function is or should be exposed as a tool. There is a description. And here is a request. Okay, good. So if that's the case, let me go back to the second agent. Let's preview tools. Okay, so we have to reconnect. Agent needs to reconnect to discover that there is one more tool, or to learn that there is one more tool available. Okay. And now you see there are two tools, view tools, so search and get object. So let's try to use it. I'm curious if it's gonna work from the first shot. Let's verify that. So please use, let's be more explicit now, and get and look for an object, because we are searching for objects, for an object, and what that object could be. Maybe this could be a maybe this could be a vase. Pick the first one and then show me details of that object. Okay, let me make it bigger. Okay, so you can see, because we were explicit very much, so agent picked that up and it is calling Dear MCP Museum 2 times. So the first time is the search tool and the second one is the get object. And what are the details? So details for the result, this is the ID 9580 and then the name vase American, there is no period. Let's try something slightly different. Please look for a Japanese sword, if there is any available. If there is, please pick the first one and show me details of that item. Yeah, let's verify. Maybe there is a sword. Okay, so there is more than 3000. these are details. That's the object number 22090, and there is a blade for a double-edged sword from can period, I guess. Or maybe it's not a period, sorry. But anyway, the culture is Japanese and period is not specified. Okay, so that's how it works, guys. Pretty simple. Before I started implementing an MCP in my company, an MCP server, I was wondering how difficult that could be, but as you can see, it's pretty easy. It can be a remote. The source for the MCP server can be a remote server, like in this case. It can be as well a part of your project. So let's imagine you have an API already, and you would like to add an MCP functionality to that API. Then the communication won't happen by HTTP requests, but you can inject here to your classes, to your services. You can inject handlers or dependencies from your code base, and you can use it to build and shape a response for your MCP clients. Not that difficult to start, to be honest. Of course, we could make it more advanced. We could add a resource or a prompt, but it's almost an hour. It's an hour of the live stream, and I am busy as well with my usual job. As I mentioned, I have a 9-to-5 job, so there is not much time for me to do this live streams and to work on the Shikigami application. So let me repeat that. If you just joined us or you watch only the end of this live stream, if you will watch only the end, then let me remind you that this is the Agentic IDE. That's the application that we vibe engineer, and it has two main features. The first one is the agentic coding area. You can as well choose to preview only one of these and then switch between them. You can add multiple workspaces, like you see here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 workspaces, and the application works pretty stable. No crashes so far. I hope there won't be any, especially when you test it, when you try it. So here is the agentic coding area. At the moment, the application supports 3 agents: Codex, Claude, and the OpenCode. OpenCode provides like a broader set of models that it can interact with by default. So if you want to use OpenCode, please go to predefined configurations, add a new configuration, then click on the OpenCode agent and provide arguments for that agent to initialize it with for example, a model that you run locally with Olama or whatever, any other provider. Okay, so that's it for today. I for sure will continue my effort to learn more Python, much more than I know at the moment. I'm still learning. Let me also remind you that there is no Python LSP yet, but this is our dashboard. This is our board where we track progress of the implementation of features that we want to have in Shikigami, and the Python LSP is already in progress, as well as the PHP LSP. The PHP LSP has much more features. The Python LSP, this is a functionality, a feature that I just started working on, so please give me some more time. And actually, we can clean this up a little bit. So these are next 4 things that are already included in the application, like for example the blade PHP syntax, coloration, one more thing as well that is available. I would like to improve the grid functionality in the agentic coding area, but at the moment I finally added the drag and drop to reorder sessions, so you can use that. just move your mouse closer to the edge, to the top edge of a session window, and then you can move from left to right, top down if you have more of them. And the more things will come soon. I just need a bit more time, and I'm letting you know that we are still here and we are building. Okay, so sorry for the noise. So let me wrap it up. MCP, that's what we tested today. MCP implemented with a Python language, and we've successfully connected the MCP server to our agent, and our agent was able to pick it up and ask the external resource via MCP tool about a vase and about a Japanese sword. So that's it for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like what I'm doing, please let me know in the comment section, or please consider joining our Discord server. The link is in the description. You can find me there, and you can as well find me on LinkedIn. Feel free to send me an invitation, but please include in the message, in the invitation, please include a note that you know me from the YouTube channel or from Discord, because I receive some random invitations from people that I don't really know, and I am not sure where they are coming from. So to avoid that, please let me know. Put at least a word Shikigami, and then I will instantly know where you are coming from. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for all the likes and subscriptions. We are approaching 60 subscribers. I am very happy, and I would like to say thank you one more time to all my subscribers, to all my new subscribers. And that's it for today. Have a nice day, have a nice evening. Bye bye, see you next time.